one and all once again to the Snide Show. I am your host as always, Cornelius Edward Snyder, otherwise known as CoryTheCurator. And today's guest is a very special, wonderfully talented musical performer, composer, and producer. I welcome Chris Downing of X-P38, who is also a longtime friend of mine. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you on.
Thank you. It was good to be here.
Awesome. So, first of all, promote what you got out now, what you're trying to do, and where you want the folks at home to find more of you.
Okay. I started making music about 15, probably longer than that, years ago, and I just been doing it, experimenting, playing guitar, piano, bass, and producing. I produce a lot. And I'm trying to get into like some live shows, and it's gonna be like some freeform stuff, like not much beat behind it. I was trying to plan on having like a device, like a laptop or a tablet hooked up to, with like a backing track, and I could play the guitar part and sing along to the backing track.
Right.
But that was like, it gets convoluted, and I hate carrying a whole bunch of shit on stage. I mean, that seems like a whole mess. Yeah. So I'm just doing it with no drums, playing and singing, trying to do some places around Blacksburg area, Montgomery County.
We're going to find those people, man, because, I mean, you are extremely prolific, extremely talented. Again, like, as you mentioned, you've got a bit of an arsenal. You've got some high-concept stuff out there. If you go to XP38's Bandcamp, you'll find, like, 50 albums there. And it's crazy because I remember talking to you, like, 15 years ago, maybe, and going to that same page and seeing there was like a dozen out then, and now, again, you just keep adding more and more. You're always working, and you'll find like some pop type stuff there, some rock type stuff there, all sorts of experimental electro stuff, and it's really cool. And I can't wait to see you do some live shows where, again, like you said, you're getting like intimate with just you and a guitar, and I think that's a good way to go, because especially for simplicity, but also there's this engineered adage that's like a product isn't done until there's nothing left to add. It's done when there's nothing left to take away, because stripped down to basics, it's the way to really show what you got.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So that's a great introduction. But I've got a big scoop, a big hot scoop of some questions here to break the ice. So as you mentioned, you can perform some guitar. And you're a composer, but what all are in your bag of tricks?
I write my own lyrics. I can somewhat rap, but it's kind of old school, not like most people do these days. I do sing. I used to use a hell of a lot of auto-tune in my productions, but I veered away from that recently in the last couple of years, and I play guitar pretty well. I play piano, bass, drums, and I play everything. Like, I don't even know. I can't even pinpoint what the hell I don't play. But
right. Bassoon. I bet you can't play a bassoon.
Oh shoot! I have a melodica.
Well, so he's got.
I have a wind instrument. That is not the same. But
he's got the strings. He's got the percussion. He's got the bass. He's got the
mic. Dropping the mic.
The woodwinds. Brass. Let's see. So yeah, man, you've got quite an arsenal, many skills, but we do have to get to the bottom of one mystery here. XP38. There's a Star Wars speeder, an airplane. What is XP38 to you?
Well, it's gonna sound really off the wall, but it's like a formula for like astral projection and like teleportation, but I'm not exactly sure to what extent it could go to. It's like space is like on an X coordinate like axis, time is on a Y coordinate axis, and the P in the XP38 is like the physical location you're at, and 38 is like some sort of like frequency. I'm guessing it's something like what Nikola Tesla messed with.
Whoa, yeah.
But I could be talking out my whole ass right now, but like that's just what goes on up here, bro.
It's cool lore. It's great lore. And you know, I just rewatched the director's cut of Donnie Darko recently, so some of that's really resonating with me. You know, the philosophy of time travel. You ever watch Donnie Darko?
I haven't watched it yet.
Please watch it. The director's cut is on YouTube right now, folks. Check it out. For right now, you know, they throw free movies on there every now and then. The director's cut of Donnie Darko, it kind of holds your hand a little more because it is a crazy movie, but it talks a little bit about that stuff you're talking about, like space-time and what have you. So who would you say are your influences, musical and otherwise?
Oh, man. You probably remember a little bit about it. It hasn't changed much from when we met. A lot of the guy behind Gorillaz, Damon Albarn.
Yeah,
he's an inspiration for me.
Oh, fuck, that's right.
Ozzy Osbourne, Corey Taylor, I guess you could say...
Ozzy!
Yeah, Ozzy.
Sorry, I just had to.
But like, Corey Taylor or Slipknot in general, Stone Sour, whatever, and... oh god, it's gonna sound cringy as hell. Mindless Self-Indulgence.
Yeah, I love him, S.I.
Yes, I love him too. They're pretty good. Mostly just Jimmy's stuff, like his whatever he does. I like his stuff. Serge Tankian.
I love Serge. Real quick about Jimmy Urine. My favorite work of his of all time is random as fuck. Do you remember in Guardians of the Galaxy, the snow planet they go to?
He's in the movie. He's in the second one.
Yeah. It might have been the second one that I'm thinking of. He did a track that I can't remember what it's called, but it's the snow planet where there's like a brothel. You remember there's a brothel?
I don't remember watching it that much. I remember watching it. I don't know why I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah. Well, who's the blue guy? What's his name?
He has that whistle era. I forgot what his name was, though. I know what you're talking about.
But he's seeing some hoe on that snow planet, and they play this very infectious beat in the background. And I was like, there's something so familiar and so like...
I have to check that out. Jimmy made it.
Good. Yeah, Jimmy made it.
Oh, dude.
And it's you can't find it anywhere. People have recreated it because there are other crazy people like me that have gotten obsessed with this little beat he made for this fucking like Marvel
loop
movie.
for like 5 seconds and just a...
But it's so catchy and it's such a cool little beat and then when you find out it was Jimmy Urine, you're like, of course it was him. He makes amazing beats. So yeah, that's awesome. Gorillaz, yeah, I remember us going down. Do you remember? Was it Kong Studios, the website?
Yeah, the website. I used to go, but yeah.
So much fun. It was so much fun with all the little games, the attaché game.
Yeah, I have like some of their old merchandise, like their autobiography, The Rise of the Ogre. I have that
with all the little stories about
nuts.
How 2D got hit in the
head with a car, and Noodle comes out of a fucking DedX crate or FedEx.
Yeah, and when you think about that, that's kind of
weird.
Yeah, a little kid came out of a FedEx pack.
Okay,
what was going on there? But Gorillaz is awesome. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it's cool to see you still got the same influences of the same bands we were talking about again, like 20 years ago or something. What would you say is the most underrated album of one of these artists? I know homeboy behind Gorillaz. He's done
so many. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Have you listened to his solo album he put out in 2014?
It's probably come across. Please tell me about it.
It's called Everyday Robots. It's about like his personal life, and I think some drug addiction too. But I'm not. It's all his forte. You fucking Everyday Robots by Damon Albarn.
I'm gonna have to write that down when I get a chance.
It's probably not his most underrated, but most people don't know who he is. They just listen to Gorillaz or Blur, and that's like.
I got my head checked.
Oh yeah, something too.
I think of, yeah.
Play that song every time I play Rocket League. And for some reason, it just fits.
That does fit Rocket League. Yeah, you're gonna have to hit up Rye. He's a big Rocket Leaguer. So if you had to pick one song to play every time you entered a room for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh god, one song every time I enter a room.
Yeah, like what's your theme song?
Oh man,
what is your theme song? You're walking around, you walk to a store, you walk in here, your entrance music.
Right now it's Rolo by Ganja White Knight.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's
I'm gonna have to play 6 seconds of that here.
It's a good one.
You know that one?
Ganja White Knight, yeah.
I got
right now that's my pulling up song, you know.
yeah. Your pulling up song. That's a good way to put it too. What's your guilty pleasure song?
Guilty pleasure.
If you want that out there.
what would a guilty pleasure count as?
Like, what's a song that maybe you don't want to tell us you listen to?
Okay.
Like Friday by Ratlungworm.
The song that goes, hey, No, it's
I'm not thinking
Blondes, something like.
Oh, What's Up by Blondie.
Yeah. What's going on?
Oh, I love Blondie, man.
That was my theme song for 2011. Not gonna lie.
That's cool,
I couldn't
man.
help it.
I like that though. I like Blondie too.
That's a player anthem on Rocket League too.
Actually, I got another obscure album for you.
Sure.
This is so back in the 80s, the Chipmunks, they did a record, like an actual vinyl. If you turn that down to the slowest speed, it turns into sludge. And it's the good shit, dude. Yeah, they had like Call Me, Maestro, Walk Like an Egyptian.
The chipmunk, because the chipmunks obviously are like sped up.
They're high pitched, and the music is pitched down, and the voice is turned back to normal, and it's like it's like you're stuck in Arizona in the middle of a car that has no gas. And it's a fucking experience, let me tell you.
And now every song's 9 minutes.
Pretty much, yeah, this is about it. It's pretty good though. I was thinking about doing a cover of Call Me in that style, but I can sing like that. I can play like that.
Do it.
Oh my god.
And then the thumbnail has to be like a fucked up album.
I'm fucking sure it is. I got it right here. I'll show you right now.
That's amazing. Yeah, send me the picture too.
I'll send it on Bandcamp.
So, say we're going to do some karaoke tonight. What would you karaoke?
Oh, I don't karaoke.
But if we were karaoke.
No earthly idea. Probably like something I wrote. I don't like to sing other people's stuff.
Wow. Okay.
I tried. I mean, I do, but I fuck it up. People hate it because I'll fuck with the lyrics.
But I sometimes
I come up with some pretty catchy, raunchy shit on like the fly, but I can't do that in karaoke.
Right. Yeah, there needs to two things. First of all, sometimes I like it when like people like mess with the lyrics a little bit, you know, to make them more like when I sing In Bloom by Nirvana. Like, I think a catchier, and Nirvana's one I don't mind fucking around with, because if you listen to the demo versions, the lyrics are all different. They sometimes Kurt would just
subject to change anyway, even on stage.
Yeah.
Damon does that, so like on Gorillaz. Like,
yeah, I like that shit. So it's all up to interpretation. But when I do In Bloom, I think it's more clever. He don't know, and this might be the demo version, but don't quote me. But he says, you don't know what it means when I say yeah. I think it's more clever. You don't know what it means when I say hell. You know, but but yeah. Karaoke is. I got to be really drunk to do karaoke.
Yeah, I'd have to be really intoxicated to do some karaoke. Very sober.
Right, yeah, it's just because also the songs I choose in karaoke, and Ryan can vouch, like they're not bringing up the mood in the room. Everyone's just kind of left afterwards, like that boy's angry.
Like, who hurt him?
I must know.
But getting away from music, what's a conspiracy theory that you believe might be true? I know this is out of left field.
That's probably like 20 of them I believe are true.
Right? What's the most? What's the wackiest one that you think might be true? Because we love that kind of stuff. We're always I don't know what to believe, but I think a lot of things.
That aliens really do abduct people and they put them back where they were.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do it. I've been up there.
Yeah, me too. It might be sleep paralysis. Might be.
I wasn't sleeping. I was in a car.
You gonna come at me with some what was the couple? I'm blanking on their name. Hill, I think was their last name. But please tell, man. I love this stuff.
I was driving. I can say like the names of the roads, right? It's local. It's somewhere around here.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. It was Bradshaw Road coming from Roanoke County to Montgomery County.
That's some alien area.
Yeah,
that would be.
I grew up down there, but it was fucking. We were just passing through. I was with two other people, me and my two buddies, and a chick and a guy. Chick was in the front passenger seat in front, and my buddy was in the back seat. We're driving, and I think sometimes this chick is kind of ditzy. So I was just thinking she was just being dumb. And she's like, "Is that a fucking helicopter?" And I'm driving just windy roads, and she's like, 5 minutes later, that's a helicopter? I don't know what the hell it is. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? I don't see shit. And she's like, that's not a helicopter. And I'm like, I'll look. And I'm like, I see this thing in the window. I'm driving, and it's just like hovering in the field. But like for a while, I didn't remember stopping. I didn't remember this, but I had a weird dream, and I talked about them both, and they both remember this.
Wow.
But like we stopped the car, and like a white yellow light came around us, and it like pulled us up. I don't remember what else it did.
Holy shit. That might have always been at night. I've never had
It was like 7:30 at night. It was like dusk. It wasn't even like fully dark out yet.
Right.
It was wild.
Yeah, and that's not unlike some stories we heard about the Fest. So that's it for the hot scoop. But moving along, Chris, I got some topical punch. All right, now that we're thoroughly warmed up, let's get into some news. Oh, news. Topical Punch is our news commentary segment here on the Snide Show. We start local, work our way global, blast off into space with science, and then come back with something kind of random usually. But this one, not super spacey, but we are going to start local. I don't know if you've heard this yet, but the Uptown Christiansburg Mall is for sale.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, this is from WSLS is where I saw it. So it seems like the Uptown Christiansburg Mall is going up for sale. Don't worry, they're not auctioning off old mannequins and leftover pretzels. But the whole shebang, it could all be yours, folks. If there's a fat cat or big whale out there that needs a okay investment, the formerly known as New River Valley Mall has been serving the fine folks of Christiansburg, Virginia since the dawn of time, or at least the dawn of my time, 4 years before I was born in 1988, so it might as well be the dawn of time. And it was given a new name and a new makeover in 2019, calling it the Uptown Mall, which I think is fitting. I always call that area Uptown. Shouts out to Billy Joel. It's hip, it's happening, and it's a place to shop for socks and snacks, man, if you don't have the internet. They got big guns like Belk, Kohl's, Dick's Sporting Goods. The new renovation gave it Home Goods, Ulta, Kirkland's, and even Planet Fitness. Really the only place worth going to in there. Even Dish Network. If you want to own a mall that's got a satellite TV call center in it, this is the mall for you, folks. It's
a business park.
It's not the Eiffel Tower, but it's a little bit of real estate drama here, man. They say money can't buy happiness, but you can buy a whole damn mall, guys. A whole damn mall. Can't believe I didn't say how much it was cost. I was trying to skim through, see how much it cost, but yeah. The foot traffic did increase by 26.7% in the past 2 years, so, a lot of grandmas in there.
Has that card shop in there, like the game store. They have like a whole like game section. They even bought like a second store.
Like with the role play games and stuff. The tabletop. That place actually is cool.
It's where the sales used to be.
Yeah, they put it into where the sales was. They had like a comic shop in one section right next to it. Then they took over where the sales was.
So there are some cool things in there, folks. There are a couple of cool things in there. Lots of parking. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, to me, it's like selling a VHS store in this Netflix age. You know, it's, you know, I mean, I like community. I like getting together and stuff, but, you know, it's just, it's wild. And I know the renovation it got was a terrible time. 2019, then the pandemic, you know, they sunk all that money into
all that
fucking bringing Ulta and Home Goods there.
Dear Lord.
I know. It's like you might as well just put a fucking Amazon store in there. So yeah, I really can't make it any funnier than that, except that, you know, maybe with this next owner, you know, you can spend Bitcoin for pretzels. I don't know. How does this fit into that?
They took out the pretzel stand.
I know. I got too many pretzel jokes in here. I haven't been in there in a while.
Not in there anymore.
They have Twist and Shake.
It's what is it?
Twist and Shake.
Twist and Shake. Right.
It's where Ben and Jerry's used to be, because Ben and Jerry's isn't there anymore.
They had a whole pretzel thing and they took it out.
Yeah.
I like the pretzel place.
That was good. That was good.
But look, okay, maybe I've got a little bit of a grudge, guys. Maybe we got, you know, a 13 and 14-year-old Corey and AC were kicked out one time for loitering in front of Victoria's Secret. And you know what? I never got over it. All right, let's blast off into space. I don't, you know, not a lot of fun happening in the world news section. Where did the new... Just put some photos in there.
Wish they would put a Lego store in there.
They do. I think they have Lego stores still.
I meant like an actual Lego, like a Lego store.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
I have a toy hobby shop, like, near the Belk.
That is true. It is true.
I see like a little like mechanical connects, like Ferris wheel hooked up in there sometimes.
I should have done my research a little more before that story.
Well, and they got the college in there too, though. It's like...
Yeah, they have the community college where the theater used to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's still in there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I took some classes there a few years ago. All right, folks, we're going to blast off into space. Well, actually, space is blasted to us. I got some asteroids here for you. Metallic spheres found on the Pacific floor are, for a fact, interstellar in origin. Harvard professor has found, this one's from USA Today. Have you seen this yet, Chris?
No.
Check out these things. I got some pictures on the screen here.
Wait, is this where they brought dirt samples back from space?
No. So this was there was some sort of impact on the Pacific floor.
Huh.
Back in 2014, meteor hit, and they have been examining these little spheres that supposedly came from the asteroid, but you would think an asteroid would just be one, you know, even if it got all burned up and was a tiny little sphere. So these that you see on the screen are actually, those are nano, those are microscopic in nature.
But they're probably bigger before they hit the water.
Sure, but it's...
Well, they even got in the atmosphere.
Yeah, the question is, though, how did these perfectly spherical things come from one meteor impact, you know? This isn't exactly X-Files level, but, you know, this is fascinating. These little metallic...
It could have just cooled so rapidly when it hit the water.
It just blasted into a bunch of little bits.
Maybe, but perfectly spherical, I mean, hell, there's a lot of pressure on the water, so it could have been jagged, like when it was just hitting it, and it was like...
It's kind of like when you cool down something. Like
you said the floor of the Pacific Ocean, how deep did it go?
That's a good question.
That could also determine why it's spherical.
Do we know how
They
deep
found
it
this
is?
around the beach area.
Okay, it could have. I don't know.
So in 2017, so the guy heading this is A.V. Loeb, and he has a history of thinking outside of the box-shaped Earth. He previously suggested that comet, a Mau Mau. Do you remember seeing that? There was this huge cigar-shaped asteroid that came by us, and it had an unnatural trajectory, is what they said. Like it did like a 90-degree turn away from Earth. Like it came to Earth.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah,
like,
that wasn't no comet.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean?
Like how?
I was sentient.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what A.V. Loeb said. You know, he was the one who was like, they took spectrographic, I believe, data on it and found that some of it was like made of like unobtainium or some bullshit that like we just don't find a lot. So yeah, this guy doesn't just wish on shooting stars. He's trying to figure out where the fuck them shooting stars are coming from. So they're very tiny. They have an unusual composition with elements like beryllium, lanthanum, and uranium. Which there's a catchy name they put to this mixture, Balau. A Balau composition. Haha. So where the heck did these come from? Why do they have this composition? This composition you would usually see in something like a nuclear explosion. It could be from an exoplanet with an iron core somewhere beyond our solar system, and that's as close as they've gotten to uncovering.
If I know something about that. The exoplanet, Planet X, Nibiru.
Oh, Nibiru, yeah. I can get into some of that stuff, man.
Where it happens and it has like two suns in orbits, and when it gets to our sun, it just slingshots back around and back out, and it's supposed to like pass us like really close, and it's gonna be like 30 minutes of like an earthquake, and then who knows what's gonna happen after that.
Yeah. He's talking about
what else will happen,
the planet Wormwood stuff. If you want to learn more about that stuff, Google Planet Wormwood, and you'll find more information on all that. I'm trying to remember the writer that put a lot of this stuff together. So I don't know. Alien trash, maybe. Some sort of alien.
Like on Joe Dirt, where they had the airplane.
Boing bomb.
Yeah, called Boing Bomb. This cosmic treasure hunt I love. I love keeping up with this stuff. A.V. Loeb is the kind of thinker that I think science needs. You need people thinking outside of the box and whatnot. But is it advanced alien technology, some sort of probe, some sort of, again, trash, extraterrestrial trash.
Like, hey, they dump a lot of trash in their own ocean, so why not?
Yeah.
Full of surprises.
We're a pretty trashy species.
Just do it to the Earth. Just do it to Earth. They won't care.
They don't care. They're already fucked. They won't mind a little extra.
So keep your metal detectors ready, folks. There's all sorts of fun stuff in this universe, and I've got another one here. Quantum Chi.
Like energy manipulation.
So check this out here. Quantum entanglement is visualized for the first time ever, and this is what it looks like.
There. That's perfect as shit.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
That's what quantum entanglement looks like. I'll put a picture up for the folks at home.
Man.
Mind-boggling discover. Spooky action at a distance that Einstein once talked about. We visualized it. The elusive phenomenon of quantum entanglement in action is a cosmic dance of interconnected particles that somehow fucking looks like yin and yang. Perfectly.
It's not somehow. It's always looked like yin and yang. We just finally looked at it again.
Exactly.
So like sacred geometry, it's our DNA from the top down.
That's right. Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself, honestly. Yeah. It's absolutely bizarre. Researchers at the University of Ottawa and Sapienza University of Rome have used a technique called digital holography to visualize entanglement, capturing the ethereal dance of these particles, creating a stunning work of cosmic artwork. So imagine two opposite waves of light, like waves on the ocean. When they're perfectly aligned, they amplify each other. That's constructive interference. But when they're out of sync, they cancel each other out. That's destructive interference. These scientists extended the holographic technique to capture the state of two entangled photons. They used another photon pair as a reference wave and superimposed the two waves in a way that made it impossible to tell which photon came from which source. The result? An image of the entangled photons' wave functions, and it looks uncannily like a yin and yang symbol, symbolizing interconnected forces and balance. Now, this isn't just cosmic eye candy. It has some serious implications. Quantum technologies like quantum computers rely on wave functions and entanglement. Being able to visualize these quantum states could revolutionize our understanding and development of quantum tech. Plus, it opens the door to new imaging techniques that push the boundaries of classical optics. Speaking of classical optics, again, yin-yang, and I couldn't help but notice, Chris, you got a yin-yang balance, one of your albums on Bandcamp, the cover art.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Yeah, pretty much, in a forest. And funny story about that, it was part of a trilogy too, 3 albums that go together. So there's radioactive nature, there's balance, and then there's the space between, and that is those go together, those 3.
And how weird. I mean, again, just the titles alone, all that shit's quantum that you were just talking about.
Mm-hmm.
It goes back to just I can't help but on a real note, this going back to, as you said, sacred geometry, and the idea of ancient civilizations having more knowledge than we think, or having what they call ancient advanced gnosis. The ancients knew of advanced concepts or had knowledge of advanced concepts from even more ancient sources.
Mm-hmm.
Graham Hancock shit, It's spooky action at a distance. Got a visual upgrade. Spooky art at a distance. Great. If we could get a little more spooky, Chris. Can we get a little more spooky?
I don't give a crap. Yeah.
You know who does give a crap? This motherfucker.
Who's that? Virus?
A cranioconsumptive gastropod known as the Ratlungworm.
Oh.
Meet Angiostrongylus cantonensis, a new character to the horror movie of the animal kingdom. A parasite that's not content with just rats and lungs. No, it has grand ambitions, including invading human brains. It's like the villain you never knew you could get. Yeah, so researchers in Atlanta have been doing some biological sleuthing and discovered this little brain drainer. What they found is enough to make your skin crawl, and it will, literally. Mm-hmm. Over the span of 3 years, Chris, they discovered that these ratlungworms have set up shop in the southeast U.S.
No kidding, like Florida, Georgia, Atlanta, Mississippi.
That's right, that's right. Wow. They even did a census of sorts and found that 21% of the collected rats were hosting these creepy critters. That's almost a quarter. Almost a quarter of the rats had this.
Oh my god, that's infestation.
To make it even more unsettling, these infections were spread out over different months. So this isn't just a phase. This is it's here to stay.
Oh man, it affect people too, right? Oh wow.
Because it can jump from rats to slugs. Ryan, much love, brother. Be careful out there. Thank you for your help. Oh, my booty! Not the booty.
Not the booty. Not.
It's just booty cheeks, man.
Happy pardon.
Thanks, man. This Ratlungworm has a long odyssey from the rat to slugs to humans. It's not a vacation anyone wants, except for this little guy. It takes a scenic route through the rat's lungs, gets coughed up, and then, if fate swallows, ends up in slugs or snails. Sometimes humans get tangled in this web of horror.
Yeah.
They might accidentally munch on an infected slug or snail hiding in their salad, so stay away from those, what do they call them? What's the thing that people eat? Stay away from the escargot, folks, especially if it comes from the southeast.
Yeah, I don't eat snails anyway.
Yeah, but
it's true that people eat that down there.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah, with the French Quarter. The French Quarter.
Something French.
But then, I got like tomatoes in my garden. Sometimes snails get all over those.
On your lettuce, your onions.
Yeah. Or if I
make a salad, you just have it. You never know.
One of these little guys eats
they eat a rat. They eat a snail or a rat themselves, and you get it.
Ugh.
Yeah. Poor things.
So the symptoms, this is how the horror movie goes. The symptoms start with headaches and light sensitivity, which I get that with migraines all the time. My friends know. They can quickly escalate to neck stiffness, tingling skin, double vision, and even seizures. In severe cases, it can lead to paralysis, coma, and worse. Here's the kicker. There's no specific treatment for this nightmare. We're basically left with, supportive treatment, symptom shit, pain meds and crossed fingers. But wait, there's more. The Ratlungworm isn't content with just the southeast U.S. That's where it's at now on its world tour. It's made appearances in Europe, the Caribbean, parts of Africa. This little rock star is hitting all the hottest destinations. So, thoroughly wash your salad, folks. Maybe start, working on some neuroplasticity. So, Chris, man, what's up? So be careful out there, man.
Yeah.
You eating your salads, fucking don't, let any French people.
Don't buy 50-cent burgers.
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but yeah, I kind of that shit. Nah, I'm not gonna buy any of that. I'm trying to stop going to eat fast food altogether. Like I haven't gone for like almost 2 weeks, and I'm trying to go some more without it because that shit is not okay.
It's addictive, man. I was never a big fast food guy, and then I got a job working some breakfast shifts around here, and it's easy to get caught up in that stuff, and then driving for a living for a little bit. It's just so easy, It sucks, but yeah. So everyone out there, be careful. Don't trust any escargot. Wash your salads. Know where you're getting your produce. Know where you're getting your food in general. It's
for real.
It's just good. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining. Thanks for having fun with me here, man, on this escapade. I hope it wasn't too much anxiety, folks. I just want everyone out there to be safe.
Can't be too careful.
Educated. You can't be too. Better safe than sorry, and better snide than dreary. So speaking of aliens, I've been watching this movie. I haven't finished it. I've still got 10 minutes left on it. It's called No One Will Save You. It's on Hulu. This isn't a promotion, but folks, if you are looking for an alien thriller that's kind of like what we were talking about with the Greys, man, the fucking Zeta Reticuli, fucking getting all up in our grills and shit. Fucking, it's great. It's very not a lot of dialogue. The actor or actress that stars in it is very convincing, has a great scream. It's, she might be the next Scream Queen, honestly, and it's very thrilling. There's an interesting thing going on with her character that might tie into why the Greys are doing what they're doing. I haven't watched it all, so I don't know. But yeah, there's the little thumbnail for it right there.
Okay.
Alienated girl battles unearthly intruders in thriller. And I have to say, unfortunately, I think they got to a concept I was cooking up. The alienated being alienated, kind of the dual meaning of alienated. But my thing's a little different, so I might still give it a try. Also, if you're looking for another, but more funny alien abduction thing, check out on Snide Studios, Appalachian Abduction. It's another interesting take on what's going on with alien abductions and stuff. It's fascinating stuff, and my thing though, when it comes down to it, regardless of what you believe, at the end of the day, it's like the simulation theory thing, where at the end of the day, even if all of it is true, what the fuck can any of us do about it?
Not really much.
We just can live our lives and do the best we can, as people.
Mm-hmm.
There are people that see the simulation theory thing or get into the alien stuff and it breaks their brains and then, they get trust issues from it or losing touch with reality and stuff. Do what?
Poor stabs.
I know. But I've seen it happen to people before, and
they just shut it out because they can't handle it.
Yeah, and it's just like, at the end of the day, it's like, again, if it's happening, if it's part of the thing, it's always been there. Yeah. Everyone still feels what they feel. Everyone still thinks what they, has their own minds and their own volitions and autonomy, and it's best just doing what you can, and stay snide.